the topic that came up today is society. And because I hear a lot and many people complain about society, you know, like how bad society managed this COVID-19 situation, or how bad the government is, or how good it is. And complaining that, or even just pointing out that society should change. And even though this might have its place, that society should change, the thought just came, are we then separate from society? You know, can we really separate ourselves and say this bad society and we are separate, we are out of it? And when we really look deeply into ourselves, and this we will do today a bit in a deeper way, and we recognize our true nature, we will discover that we are not separate. In fact, we are part of this society. So when we blame society, somehow we blame ourselves too. And when we start to explore those inner realms, we also start to discover that we are not so helpless in this situation. You know, that somehow when we cultivate an inner climate of peace, this we can resonate out into this society. And with each step, somehow we can co-create this, what I call new consciousness or new society. And then we are not so helpless. Yes, things might be decided by government and by, you know, some people out here, but I'm also deciding things. I'm deciding from where do I live my life. And if I have no awareness of my inner realms, I might go through life, this picture came up this morning, like chicken with their heads chopped off, you know, like they move still, but they have no sense of where they're going. And we think we have an idea where we're going, but we have seen how that developed the last couple years, right? We developed in one way very, in an advanced way, but in another way, we are on the way of destroying ourselves or destroying this planet. So how could we move through this life in a more aware way? And in that area, meditation helps a lot, or any kind of spiritual practice, yoga, qigong. Because it's not only about getting a little bit more relaxed. This might be a very nice effect in the beginning. In fact, I like that also, that part, that just to calm down and relax. But this is not the end of the meditation. It's also not the end of yoga. Yoga and meditation aim to samadhi, that's in the yoga terms. And samadhi is the enlightenment, the waking up. And what does it mean to wake up? It means to recognize who you are on the bottom of your being. And when you bring in some more recognition and some light, something like, it can be little steps. I mean, it's big steps for some of us, but it can be also little steps, like all of a sudden realizing, wow, I'm not this thought machine or thought loop that I thought myself to be. I can in fact, sorry, I had to stop the music. I can in fact observe this thought machine. And when I start to observe it, I recognize, wow, if I'm not my thoughts, what else could I be then? And in that is already freedom. Because if I'm totally identified with my thoughts, then I move through life a little bit like a chicken with the head chopped off. Although the head is producing the thoughts, but somehow like just being like a robot that I follow my thought. Okay, I should do this, then I do this, I should do that. And oh no, I have to run there. But then if we get a little bit more free of the thoughts and free of our feelings, then we start to maybe get a little bit a taste of who else we could be, in a way that recognizing that we are maybe something that we have long forgotten. You know, we are maybe something more, a little bit more relaxed, more peaceful, more vast also, even more vast than this body. And when this kind of recognition starts to take place, and this is a never-ending process, even for awake or enlightened being, the integration goes on, and it's a joyful process to really get interested. What is that in here? Who could I be? When you really go like a researcher inside and discover more and more of that, then you have something else to offer to the world. Then you go through world as this awake being, just offering yourself to the world and feeling more into, okay, where does it need me? Which step is needed and which step is not needed? Where I can just relax and wait. Wait as this spaciousness that I am. It's Dalai Lama who said, if you want to create peace in the world, you have to start to create peace within yourself. And this is also what meditation is. Like if I carry a lot of anger, a lot of conflicts, a lot of friction in my life, to meet that internally, of course I can also resolve it on the outside, but first comes the inner work. To be present for those feelings, to meet them, to really feel them, to not be afraid to feel them. And then when I go deeper inside, then I can go out and start to resolve. But, and I spoke this last weekend, if I go out with my own kind of frustration and anger and war energy to create peace on the outside, I'll create what I call a peace salad on the outside. You know, in Switzerland we call it Friedenssalat, but it doesn't really exist, this word. It's just that two things mix in, and you can feel it in your surrounding maybe. That I have some people around, not many, but some that really fight for their opinion now. You know, who say this is totally wrong, what's going on, and even though they might be right in what they say, you somehow feel they are coming in with a strong war energy. And a lot of war has been created from that place of being identified with my opinion, with my thoughts, and feeling now I'm doing the right thing for the world, I'm creating peace, but I'm gonna fight the others. And we have seen where that led us now. So somehow, if we say this also in Mandali, which is a place that has been built for awakening of humankind, then we have to be courageous. And in fact, the dance today is under the motto courage. We have to be courageous to face our innermost fears and feelings and frustrations and anger first. You know, making space to be with the whole pain that we carry. And only when we become more clear with that, when it's clearing out, then we can really offer peace in the world. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that you have to sit at home and, just kind of, okay, wait till you're only peaceful. No, but it also means that for me, the applied spiritual life is that if I feel triggered by the world, by opinions, by society, that I take these triggers home, here, home in myself, and I'm just sitting with it and kind of digesting it, meeting it, and just feeling through it until I come to a place of clarity first. And then I go into action again. So meditation in that way can help us to discipline ourselves, to take a little bit more space to the things we meet in life. And even invite yourself when somebody comes at you and says, we should do this, or this is right, that you internally, you just take a little bit of space before you react. Space before you speak. Even yesterday, Valentina was so beautiful. She said, it's not time for speaking now. How beautiful. And she just wrote into the chat. To honor, I always say, for me, a sane society would be 50-50 speaking and silence. Because we need the silence to contemplate first what's going on here, and then we speak much more wisely. So to honor these spaces, to honor the spaciousness, to create spaciousness in you, in order to do more wise actions, in order to offer to this society, which is also you, to offer yourself from a different place.